welcome again to another session in the Investing Simplified course. So today we have Mr. Debo Adejana, and he's going to be talking to us about Besama Cooperative Society, which is a real estate cooperative society. I'm not going to give away too much details, so I'm just going to give him the floor now so he can tell us a little bit about himself and what Besama Cooperative Society is all about. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much, Tolu. It's my pleasure to be here. Yes, I'm Debo Adejana. Yes.
Could you give us a little bit of your background, how you got into real estate and what Besama is really all about?
Okay, great. So my background, I studied engineering. So let's start from there. I studied agric engineering in University of Ilorin way back, long ago now. And then I started out in the bank. So I spent like about 8 years. I used to say meritorious service because yes, I won awards, you know. So towards my last 3 years in the bank, I was moved into marketing from operations. So, and then I was managing a portfolio that included real estate companies. And that was what got me fascinated, having to prepare credit for them, look after their business, serve them in terms of their banking needs and all of that. You know, exposed me to real estate, and it got really fascinating for me having to do research to back up whatever claims I'm trying to put forward regarding credit and all. So that was how I think I got interested in real estate. I then left the bank, decided to start a business, and the business I chose was real estate.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So you've been in real estate in what sector? How have you been in real estate?
So majorly, I actually call myself a real estate entrepreneur because I do a number of things within the real estate umbrella. Okay, but if you say what's my forte, you may see me more as a developer, but you can also see me as a consultant because I do a lot of consulting, training, teaching, and a lot of that. I do a lot of that. And because of my finance background, yes, I studied engineering, but I was in the bank for a while. Because of my finance background, I also do a lot of financial engineering. Okay, so for example, for us as an organization, from day one, we've always done more than we ordinarily should be able to do. And how we've always been able to achieve that is some financial engineering knowledge. So Realty Point Limited started as a company, but I had shareholders from day one. It's not a one-man's company. Okay, and from the get-go, most of our projects, we always have people who collaborate with us. Either as joint venture partner, as private lender, one way or the other, we've always had collaborators. Yeah.
I'm really excited to see how you found yourself in a situation, found a gap, took it as an opportunity, and you've exploited it and maximized it to the point of moving from banking to real estate. And the fact that you're having joint venture partners, you're talking about private lenders, it really shows that you have something on ground compared to what we find most people just saying we're starting now. And you've been in business for how long now?
Thank you. Well, it's going to 14 years. Wow. Just about a month short of 14 years. Wow. Actually.
Interesting. So March, right?
Yes, March. I resumed 1st of March 2005.
Wow. Okay. So we're almost hitting the 15-year.
The 14-year mark.
Yeah, no, that means next year.
Yes, of course. Next year will be 15
so
years.
We should celebrate that.
Yeah, we did 10. We celebrated 10, so we're looking forward to celebrating the 15.
Please invite me.
Why not? You are invited.
Thank you. So now to the gist of the day. Okay. I was telling you how I've had some of my community members, clients tell me that, okay, Tolu, I have 10 million naira, and it was easy to plug in some of the offerings that you had amongst others. But there are a few people who would say, Tolu, all I have is 50,000 or 100,000 now, and as I make the next box sum, what can I use that for? With instrumental payment on other payment plans that you find out there's expectation every month, and they could not, maybe because of the nature of their business, be able to say, I can, of a fact, do this every month. So how have you been able to plug into that gap?
Okay, so for us as an organization, that has always been our forte, really, our concern from day one. So when we started out, we looked at the strata and we decided that, hey, we are going to play in the lower market and possibly the other end of the middle market. So you would seldom see us at the luxury market, maybe for investment, for private investment purposes or company investment. But as a business, we usually play within the middle to low end. And why we want to serve them is also because we realize that the challenge with that environment is our finance challenge as a country. You know? So the way we finance our construction, our real estate acquisition in this country is not healthy for the person that is average or low income earner. So sometimes it's not safe for them, because even if they have an arrangement with somebody, the person can then go away with their money, because it's taking forever before they could put the money together. So we've always had products in terms of real estate assets, land built properties that people can acquire, like that on installment basis. Yes. So, and then we went ahead to say, hey guys, it's not, even after you've acquired your property, if you still remain within that level, you still want to play in real estate, whatever. And in the equation of wealth, I used to say, real estate must be found there. You really can't say you are wealthy without having real estate in your portfolio.
I say it all the time.
I tell people it cannot be. You can't really refer to yourself as being wealthy without having real estate in your portfolio. But if 50,000, 15,000, 20,000 is what you can come by in a month, when will you get there? So that's why we use, like I said, a lot of collaborative methods. So we've done investment club that is real estate focused. We've run 2 of that for 5 years, no issues. Liquidated and people benefited. Till today, we are still in the process of winding down some, because the assets are still being engaged and fetching returns, and they are still going through their life cycle. So we've always had that. Now, recently we then thought about something that can accommodate a whole lot more people.
Yes.
And that's how we came about Besama Cooperative. So Besama is a real estate investment focused cooperative. So we are using the cooperative platform. You can say it's crowdfunding, because really it's just all of these methods are ways of crowdfunding. Correct. Anyway, REITs, all of those, So, and you can call it a pseudo REIT, whatever you call it. But we are using a cooperative platform to aggregate funds from people with common desires, and putting it in real estate to yield returns that they would all share majorly. And we call that Besama. So with a typical cooperative year runs January to December.
Yes.
Cooperative share their dividend, what they call dividend, once they declare their surplus, after their accounts have been audited. Cooperatives are registered and are supervised by state governments, federal government, international government, depending on the level of cooperative. Ours is registered in 2 states of Nigeria right now, the FCT and Lagos. So we are supervised by those 2 states, as it were. And we started, we can say we took off 2018. So we've done 1 year. Our account is still going through the works, but I can tell you that even in 1 year, hardly will you see an organization that in 1 year will be able to return profit.
Fantastic.
Because cooperative runs like a company, as it were.
Yes.
But in 1 year, we are reporting returns to our people, and they are going to Smilo. So their capital, their shareholding has increased in value, and they are also going to get very attractive dividend. I cannot let out the cat now out of the bag, because yes, but they are going to get. So and all of what we do is put these things in real estate investment. So you say, how do we determine our investment? How do we arrange cooperative? Now, cooperative has a structure. Ordinarily, there is a management committee, which is the fulcrum, or you can say the board of that cooperative. That drives the business. Then there are various committees depending on the activity of the business, of the cooperative. For us, because investment is key to us, we have investment committee.
Yes.
We have investment committee. Then there is the supervisory committee, which is like a committee that is enshrined in their law to have oversight function over even the management and report to the general house. For a cooperative, the general house is the arbiter of power, as it were. So we have those 3 committees running and functional. The management committee is made up of very credible people, who have, high integrity in the market space. In that committee, if you put our experience together, real estate and other complementary experiences, will be well over 100 years. Yes, cumulative, So then investment committee, very key for us. We also got real estate heads, people that have been experienced and exposed in low-level, high-level real estate investment for a long period of time. So, and we also have partnership with our company, Realty Point Limited, that started us. So they source transactions for us, we critique it, and then we decide which one we want to go into, as it were. So that's how it is run, and it's been running very profitably.
I'm excited to hear this. I'm sure some people are just thinking, show me the money. How soon can we start? So tell us, if you wanted to be a member, what does it entail? And also, in addition to that, what are the benefits of membership? Let's even hear that. I know we've talked about attracting dividends, but it's fine. What else should we be looking forward to as members? Tell us.
Fine. So, as members, like I said, you get dividend, like we've talked about. You also get to, because we run a cooperative platform, you also get to borrow at a very minimal interest rate. We charge 10% right now per annum. You probably can't get that anywhere except similar setups, you know. So, and you are able to borrow times 2 of what you have in your savings.
Within Besama.
Within Besama, what you have in your savings, provided you have somebody that can guarantee the excess. So, if I have 1 million in my savings account in Besama, what we call compulsory savings in cooperative, if I have 1 million there, I can, and I'm pressed for funds, I can borrow 2 million naira, provided I have somebody else in the cooperative that can guarantee the other 1 million with his own savings. So
the guarantor must be a member of
Yes,
Besama.
of course, must be a member. You know, cooperatives kind of hedge their risk that way within the cooperative. So if I can't pay back, the money is there, nobody will lose. As in, the other people won't lose their resources because I borrowed.
Correct.
So that's how, but I get to enjoy because I get 10%. You know, so it encourages me to save, and when I need money, I can borrow easily.
Fantastic.
You know, so that's one other way. We also have a group life cover. Yes, for all members, there's a group life cover that can fetch, in case of what we don't pray for, you know, can fetch up to like half a million naira. Okay, $500,000 naira plus, I think, in some criteria. It covers accidental stuff, death, and about 4. We have medical also, you know, there. So, and you just pay a token towards the 6,000 naira yearly, really, and you get a group life cover that will fetch you this kind of, let's say, benefits in case of eventuality. So, that's there. We also, because we are just starting, we also encourage and reward referrals. So as a member, if I get in another member, I get rewarded by the cooperative with a token sum, you know. So that is also part of it. So if I had all of that, if I'm an active member and we reward our members, some members join and in 3 months they bring 2, 3, 4, 5 people. We call them 2-star general member, 5-star general member, and stuff like that, you know. So if I bring members, I mean, I get rewarded. So if I had my reward, had my dividend, had my share value, and the fact that I can borrow from the cooperative, that's huge, you know. Then most importantly, like I tell people, because you see, no matter who you are, wealth is about building a portfolio, and a portfolio is a basket of a lot of things.
Correct.
So, as I always encourage anybody, cooperative is one way that you can escrow your life, as in you can ensure that you control your life such that you are handicapped from ensuring that you fail.
Yes.
As
so you are mitigating the risk
of failing, you know. So you've taken control or the opportunity for you to decide to fail from off you. Kind of. You've let go of your power to allow yourself fail. Because these days you open a savings bank account, so you are given an ATM card. So how can that be savings?
Correct.
I mean, you just at any moment need, you just go to the machine and the savings is scattered. But in a cooperative, there is compulsory savings which you cannot touch, but you can borrow on. So even if you are pressed, you can borrow, but you can't touch except you are withdrawing from the cooperative. And because of the benefits you are enjoying, you will think twice before you want to withdraw from the cooperative. I mean, some people's colo piggy bank is not really safe.
Yes.
They break it, or they can be stolen, or whatever. So those are benefits that you derive from joining a cooperative and working through a cooperative, particularly because the asset class we talk about, that we specialize in investing in, is adjudged to be one of the safest and also the one that returns about the most. In terms of store of value, it's about the best you can find.
Agreed.
Most stable that you can find.
When it comes to real estate.
Exactly. So I usually encourage young folks that, hey, yes, you have retirement plan, you have a pension account, but have you sat down to actually look at if your pension will take you?
If you take you
when you are pensioned, really?
Yes.
Can it give you the kind of life that you want? Because the way it's structured, You know, the returns on it, inflation,
It's
and
actually
all of
just
those
basic.
things, you know,
It's supposed to be
would have just eroded the value. I mean, how much are you putting in there anyway?
exactly.
You know, so but if you also have a secondary plan that is now your private plan, by way of investing in things like this, you know, yes, real estate in its own essence, as in physical real estate, you can afford it, and plus this kind of investment, because they are also investing in real estate is the underlying asset. You know, that value is kept. You can always enjoy it in the future, and when you enjoy it, the purchasing power is not eroded, it's even enhanced in most cases. So it's about the it's about the store, I mean the best store of value. So I encourage people to do that, and also learn from what the cooperative is doing. If I'm somebody of means and I have more capacity than the cooperative requires or demands, or that I'm putting in there, I can just understudy what the cooperative is doing and be replicating.
Yes.
Because the cooperative, because cooperative has the benefit of pulling heads together and enjoying their intellectual and experience that you pay handsomely for if you are going to engage these people.
Correct.
And just by being a member or even serving in one capacity or the other in the cooperative, I can understand, because we usually have newsletters every quarter, for example, telling people what we are doing, telling people the kind of investment we are looking at per time. We engage people. There is a members WhatsApp group and all of that. There is the communication within the cooperative. So you can always understand, okay, the cooperative wants to do this, they are doing this, okay, this is the kind of return they are expecting, okay, probably I can also do this, you know. So we do all manner of real estate investment. We do rent to rent, we have something we call Besama landlord, for example. Now, so Besama landlord is, I realize that rental income is not so fantastic in this part of the world yet, okay? But we still cannot run away from the fact that the capital appreciation is there.
Correct.
Okay? And so if I want to, and I may not be able to afford a block of flat myself, but if I join Besama Cooperative, and Besama Cooperative is a landlord of some flats, I said, that they put on rental for rental income purposes, it's also me doing that. I'm also a landlord. So I'm a co-landlord in that ownership. When after enjoying the rental income we want to enjoy, if we decide to dispose of that property anytime, I will be a partaker of the capital appreciation. So I may not have 25 million naira, but because I have shared what 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, or whatever in Besama, and Besama has those assets, you know, I'm already enjoying that kind of return.
Fantastic.
You know, and I can build my ownership in the cooperative. And when I'm empowered to do more, I can do that parallel, you know, just observing what the cooperative is doing. So we do all of that mix, and we do land banking, also speculation, you know, but now the attractive thing about land banking is land banking actually in this part of the world, I tell people, is better done collectively than as an individual, especially if you don't have so much money. Because for all you care, okay, you run the risk of losing your property if you didn't buy it properly or you didn't secure it as you need. But you see a lot of people, after struggling to pay for the land, they actually don't have money to do anything else. Possession, for example, they don't have money to take possession. And lawyers tell us possession is 90% of ownership.
Correct.
You know, so sometimes I've met a lot of people who have lost landed properties because they were not either able to possess it or were not able to do their proper documentation on it. And I've also met people who were able to do all of this, and somebody built on it, and the person just built for them eventually. Correct. Yeah, because I mean, if you want to go to court, and then they won the case and all of that. So the cooperative allows you to do this. We do speculative land buying, okay? We do land banking, and we do it strategically. So we look for where development has started to get to, okay? And we don't buy too much in a place, so that we can risk. Exactly, we can distribute our risk. So we buy a handful here, a handful there, a handful there, lock them together, I mean, and wait for, we have ones that we want to do for 5 years, the ones that we want to do for 10 years, the ones that we want to do for 20 years, dispose of them. The capital appreciation is usually huge. There's no rental income on those ones most of the time, but the capital appreciation cannot be matched when you buy them, right. Okay, when you get them at the right price, you get them at the right time, you are dealing with the right set of people, and also we do all of that also, and we do joint venture development, joint ventures. We do off-taking with developers and all. And for our members, another key benefit is that if you desire to own a property, one of the reasons Besama is established is to enhance that for a number of our members. As we grow, we'll be able to actually offer members what you can call mortgage, but we call it rent to own.
Okay.
So the cooperative, out of our asset, will give out some for members to stay in. They pay an initial sum and then they pay rentals over a agreed number of years, after which is theirs. I've never seen any landlord reward a tenant with a house to say, you've been a very faithful tenant. In the last 30 years, you've been paying your rent. You know, you and I were talking just before we started this about a good tenant you are.
Yes.
I'm sure you're not thinking of, or the landlord of that woman, he's not thinking of dashing that guy the property because he's been very good, you know?
No.
There's nothing like that. So, but in Besama, there can be something like that. With our rent to own arrangement, Besama can actually, when you are paying rent, you are as well paying equity towards ownership.
Correct.
And you can actually become, it's not wasting asset as it were, as a typical rent is.
Fantastic. In addition to this rent to own, if someone wanted to buy a plot of land in one of the estates that we bought for land banking, is that possible? Is that option available?
Now, except we are selling it.
Okay, except
we're selling. However, you know, we are always in partnership. However, you know, we are always in partnership with developers and all of that. So we can always, through us, you can always get transactions. Like I said, just understudy the cooperative and you can always get deals.
Fantastic. All right, so we're excited already. I can just hear some people just thinking, okay, the benefits are already too much. Can somebody tell us
me how
can we just buy into this cooperative? And I think I want to quickly highlight some of the things you said. Is the fact that the risk is shared. Because you've rightly identified, if you wanted to go and buy Omonile land or whatnot, you're not doing it alone. You feel like, okay, at least I'm not the one, I'm not losing everything, I'm not doing all the headache of finding out this, finding out that, because real estate, if we must be honest with ourselves, compared to other real estate, with other investment assets, has a little bit of effort that you need to put in over and above the way you buy your, treasury bills.
There's no armchair investor.
Yes,
in real
there's
estate.
no be doing it. You actually need to kind of get involved.
So you see that you are doing it yourself, or some trusted people are doing it on your behalf. You need to get involved.
And so that's how Besama actually presents itself to help you if you're having issues with that. In fact, I can see how people can start with this and they can now decide, you know what, I've learned so much understanding this cooperative and I can begin to do that. And they can even use the partnership available to Besama, Realty Point, for example, to do that.
Yes.
So I'm excited already. I mean, we've said many things, but we're going to recap at the end, at the bottom of this, but we already know that you can invest in real estate. So I want to highlight here now that investing in real estate does not necessarily mean that you must buy land. You can be part of an association that is investing in real estate in different ways, and that's some of the things he's just taking quite a lot of time to explain. So this is something you want to consider. That 100K that is sitting in your account at 3%, if you get it, that is, and by the way, you know, if you withdraw 3 or 4 times a month, you are not eligible for interest that month.
And with your ATM card in your pocket, you are likely to withdraw more than 3 times.
Correct. So imagine putting it's 150,000 naira.
Okay, so if you're joining basic, you just want to join at the PRS minimum. Entry level is 149,000 naira.
Okay.
149,000 naira fetches you 1 share, which is 100,000.
Okay.
Then you're paying a 25,000 naira one-time joining fee.
Okay.
You never have to pay that again as a member. Then you are paying minimum annual compulsory savings we allow is 15,000 naira. Okay. Then the annual administrative fee is 3,000 naira, and the insurance premium is 6,000 naira. All of that put together is 149,000 naira that you have to pay. Now, if you do that when you are joining, is the next year, which starts January, that you have to make another contribution, which is a total of 24,000 naira. Just 24,000 naira, 15,000 your annual savings, 3,000 your annual admin, 6,000 your annual premium. So that's all 24,000 naira. That's all you would have to make again. You know, that's all you have to make again. And you usually are required to make that between January, and March of the new year. Yes, Q1 really. That's where you are required to make that. And I must tell you, so at any time, you can then buy shares. At any time, once you join, you can buy shares at any time. You can buy 100,000, 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, whatever. And we have people who join with, of course, multiple shares. So you want to buy 5 shares, you do, to join with 5 shares, you do 549. You want to buy 10 shares, you do 1,049,000, you know, like that.
Okay.
That's how it is.
So 100,000 naira is the cost of a 1 unit share in Besama.
Now.
As at this time.
As at now.
Because I know
as at now. And also, I must also let you know that, okay, so because we are trying to also build numbers, because the strength is in numbers, really. And we started, like I told you, just last year, so it's a new cooperative. The strength is numbers. We are willing, took a decision at the management level to give discounts to people joining. So our first year is done. Our share value will be out by our AGM, but we have still resolved that we will still take new members at that 100,000 per share for now. Okay. We have a target. We have a target number. Yes, we are aiming at before you start to have to buy at our share value to join. Okay. But right now it's still the nominal that we started with that we are allowing people. So the cooperative is taking that discount so that we can build numbers, as it were. And I must tell you that we've started. It's been a year and it's been fantastic. It's been fantastic. It's been awesome. We actually won an award at the last National Cooperative Award for that innovation, for that initiative. Yes, it's called the Croson Award. It's a National Cooperative Award, and Besama was given that for being innovative in terms of what we are doing in the market space using the cooperative platform. So I want to tell you that you are in for a ride when you join us. Very credible people. Currently, our president is Mr. Akinola Warrior. Mr. Akinola is a renowned real estate surveyor and valuer. You know? So when you talk about real estate in this country and in Africa, probably in some parts of the world, really beyond Africa, you would mention his name because he has served in all manner of international committees and associations and board and served, distinguished. You know. So he's currently also the president of Nigerian British Chamber of Commerce.
Correct, I was about to say.
Yeah, he's currently that. So he's the president. So you can imagine the caliber of people. We have SAN in the cooperative. Members that are senior advocate of Nigeria. Yeah, we have a number of lawyers. In our all manner of all other professionals are represented, you know, in the cooperative. So this is a cooperative that is set up to achieve. Look at this. Kenya, for example, the real estate market of Kenya is largely controlled by the cooperatives. About 26% or so of the housing market in Kenya is in the hands of cooperatives. That's what we are planning to achieve in Nigeria. I also understand that the largest cooperative and most profitable cooperative in West Africa is actually Nigeria. Yeah, it's actually Nigeria. They do a number of, but they are closed cooperative. So it's a cooperative of an organization. You have to be a staff of that organization to be a member of the cooperative. But they've been existing for long. They have about 32 billion naira balance sheet.
32 billion.
Yeah, naira balance sheet.
And that's where we're working towards.
Of course. In fact, for us, our initiative is, our desire is to be the biggest cooperative out of Nigeria. So we are not even just limiting ourselves to that. Real estate focus, real estate investment focused cooperative out of Nigeria. You know? So when I say out of Nigeria, that gives you an idea. We are not planning to remain here. In fact, already people that are joining us, they cut all across and they stay anywhere in the world. Right. Because yes, cooperative requires you to meet regularly, in our case quarterly. But we use, it's a modern age. Global world. Yeah, so we use the electronic means to meet. And you can be a part of the meeting. Correct. From wherever you are in the world, you know, if you so choose to be, you know. And beyond that, we also communicate apart from the meeting. So you are not missing anything, as it were. The newsletter you get, you belong to the communication WhatsApp group and all of those things. And we have the email of the admin person. The office is up and running, and you can ask your questions at any time and can reach anybody.
This has been an exciting time, and I know we are going to have so many questions. I'm taking this opportunity here to invite you to speak at one of our one-day outing as members of this community. I'm sure you will oblige us.
Well, why not? If we can arrange the time.
Fantastic, fantastic, because there are too many questions. So if someone wants to join now, one thing they need to know is they need to pay 149,000 naira.
Yes.
100,000 naira of that is for the share. The 49,000 for that inclusive of the admin fee, the group life, to add to this asset base, and they can do over and above that, but
Yes,
that's the minimum.
that's the
so that's compulsory, and then there's voluntary,
Yes.
and then you can continue to also buy shares. Just to clarify, buying the shares is different from the savings.
It's different. Now, so the way cooperative is structured is such that, you see, for your savings, you can borrow on it.
Okay.
That's, you can borrow on your savings. That's actually the main thing the cooperative does with your savings.
Okay.
So the money they make from there is also, it also goes into the surplus, but what we share, but it's majorly for borrowing, members borrowing. The shares is what the cooperative engages for investment purposes, does business with, and makes return.
Okay, fantastic. Alright, so I'm sure this has been an eye-opening session on how you can invest in real estate without having 10 million naira. I hope you'll be following up with our administrative personnel who will be interacting with you in case you're interested, okay? If you have any more questions, please send us an email in the community, alright? Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be talking to you in the next one. See you. Bye.
Bye-bye, thanks. It's my pleasure being here.